But we are at the American Sign Museum, which apparently I was wrong. I assumed this was about Mel Gibson early 2000s alien invasion movie, but apparently it's not. And my wife's looking at me like you're an idiot. But it's here in Cincinnati, and I've never been here before. It's, as it sounds like, a sign museum. It might also have some information on the Great Rum Barrel incident, but we'll see. Just remember, you have to go slow. Old Burger King. And there's Druds, which is like 1/3 of the old rock and roll slogan. Lucy's favorite sign, Purina.
Purina?
Isn't that pet food?
Yeah. I bet she doesn't eat Purina.
For a second, I thought that said Wendy's, but that's not Wendy's. That's W.H. Eddie's. Also, it looks like have a history of signs. Like early payment and trade signs. And Katie, you've been on both ends of, well, that's not Route 66, that's Phillips 66, so never mind. I thought that said Route 66, but no. You have been on both ends of Route 66.
Mm-hmm.
Dolly Madison always had ice cream.
What was that?
I've never heard of Dolly Madison ice cream, have you?
Nope.
The giant big boy. From not necessarily Frisch, but this one is from Frisch's, but there are other big boys besides Frisch's, you know that?
Yeah.
It's an old French
isn't
show.
the original one in California?
I think they used to have several different, it used to be several different ones, like McDonald's, I know is a franchise. Big Boy itself was franchises, but they would have different names if you liked it. And instead of just having like everything being McDonald's, it'd be like there'd be McDonald's and then Dave Thomas's McDonald's instead of Wendy's.
Gotcha.
I don't think I ever realized that Big Boy had a slingshot in his back pocket.
Oh, you ever noticed that?
Apparently not.
I have.
So I guess it was slightly like Dennis the Menace.
It's not like you're gonna be staring. You've been staring at his butt the whole time.
Speak for yourself. And a giant boot, which I'm sure some people would recognize what that's for. D of A has a Holy Bible. And good old Coke, even though I don't drink Coke. You what?
Hershey sign? Hershey's ice cream?
I see. Never had Hershey's ice cream. I bet it could be good.
Oh, that's really neat. The Christmas wreath. That's really cool.
They're from the early neon area, and that is for, I'm guessing that's for a shoe repair store.
I really like that.
Boy, I bet their electric is pretty expensive here. Nabisco, which used to own Oreos, I believe, or maybe they still do, or I don't know if they're a company around here, but anymore. I guess if you've ever wanted to know what the inside of a sign that looks like this is, it is this, although I think it's missing some lights and the backside of the sign. United Pentecostal Church. There's nothing says holy to me like a neon sign for a church. It was originally located in Shreveport, Louisiana. Just say no, Katie. That's a state restaurant. Don't know which state, but it's a state restaurant.
So it's a 1 out of 50 chance.
Okay, that's a golfer. I thought that was a soccer ball, but that's apparently a golf ball.
No.
Because it's a guy with a golfer. But it's at a bus depot. Good old Colonel Sanders. And of course, Emerson Television and Radio. I bet Emerson Television and Radio had TVs and radios that had commercials. The old Colonel. You know who Colonel Sanders was, right?
No.
KFC. Ooh, Shell Station. Love Brothers Paints.
No, it's Love Brothers.
Oh, well. Texas Wieners and Hamburgers. Think of that one Justin Starr video he was here. He talked
what
about
he
this
came
one.
to see, because I guess he remembers seeing it growing up.
Big giant spinning UFO. You know, now that we're here for a sign museum, it makes me think if like 30 years from now there will be long past the COVID days, if there will be a museum dedicated to masks. Like a mask museum. Yep. I don't think I've ever thought about how many different shoe places there are, because I've already seen shoe repairs, there's Bostonian shoes, there's walkover shoes, which actually makes, to me, seems like a very smart idea for a shoe company, because that's what shoes do, they walk over stuff. Although that's from 1920. And Blood's Paints. Wonder if they had any paint in the red color. Foster's Old Fashioned Freeze. I bet that's really old fashioned now, because that sign itself is old fashioned. It's a cow shaking its head, yes.
Sign over here for a Cincinnati Barber College. That's unique.
Well, people gotta learn how to cut their hair. I mean, if not, it might be like my dearly departed grandma once cut my uncle's hair, and it wasn't supposed to be a buzz cut, but by the time my grandma was done laughing the whole time, it was a buzz cut. The old-timey tools for making signs are in here. Old Mcdonald, who also had a farm, but this is not that McDonald, this is McDonald's restaurant. With over 99 billion served. What do they say now for served? Is it... That one was from the season we heard from McDonald's is there was only one arch as opposed to the double arch. And old gas station, or not gas station, gas pumps. Here at this museum, they also have an area back here where it looks like they can either repair signs or potentially make signs. I'm guessing this is like a little sign repair shop, lots of tools and maintenance folks. Everybody's back there right now because it's a Saturday, but I'd imagine that if it was a normal work day during the week, there'd probably be people working back here. And an empty Raiders cup of ice cream.
Your favorite too.
Yeah, mint chocolate chip. Someone's got good taste. An old windmill sign for Band-Aid Kemp's Bakery, whoever that is. And I'm guessing this was for I'm guessing that's for a photographer or like a maybe photo development place. For you kids who grew up in computers in the 2020s, or in the last 20 years, people used to have cameras. You had to go get this thing known as developing them, and they'd be printed out on paper instead of just being online on Facebook. And that's probably what this is from, or YouTube in this case, which is exactly what that was for one in Elraya, Ohio, wherever that's at. And more stuff back here for signs, and up there's a Drink Budweiser sign. And in here they have more stuff for they repair signs or maybe even make signs, but I'd imagine if you're here during typical business hours, since we're here on a Saturday, there'd be people working in there, but it's like I said, a Saturday, so there's nobody here doing that today. It's like here's a bunch of different examples of neon. That might be all the neon tellers you can have. It is a neon teller chart, so that's exactly what it is. This is another side of that Mcdonald sign we went by before. And look at that price, 15 cents. And over 1 billion served. It's probably trillions by now, but I don't honestly know. It's been forever since I've looked at a McDonald's sign, really. And a lot of electric, so it's a good thing that if there ever would be a bit of fire here, we have a fire hydrant right here. Must be, well, I wasn't gonna say must be rush hour, but definitely not in LA because they're actually moving. You talked about Howard Johnson earlier, right, Katie?
Huh?
You mentioned Howard Johnson's earlier, right?
Yeah.
Because here's a big Howard Johnson's one. Now, Katie, which one's Howard and which one's Johnson? You know? Or is it not actually like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because they have 28 ice cream flavors. Is Howard Johnson still around?
I doubt it, but I could be wrong.
You know, if that was our dog, it'd be jumping up and trying to take the food off that plate. Air conditioning, that's back when that was something to brag about. And Crosley radios, which that's for a lot of people in Cincinnati, that probably rings a bell because the Reds had an old ballpark for many years named Crosley Field, and that's because a guy who owned Crosley radios also owned the Reds for a while. and he named the stadium after himself. It's a barber shop with, I thought that was a typewriter, but that's for a sign maker again. World War II supplies. There's a lot of really neat signs here. So what?
Firestone. Tires?
Yep. Although it's actually just fires right now
Oh.
because the tone is left off or not lit up. Did you know that Bill Hooks has had 33 years with Ford? And not just any years. It wasn't bad years. It wasn't average years. It was 33 wonderful years.
Good for him. Whoever he is.
An old Ford dealer, I'm guessing. And not it just as says neon, this one's also bubbly. And Mama's sauce and Papa's dough for pizza. And there's also Papadino's Pizza, which is a restaurant. And then there's Rose Hardware, family owned since 1933. 2 years younger than my grandpa. And again, advertising for air conditioning. Plenty of more signs. I thought we were at a sign museum. This is at the clock museum. And again, this is a sign that might be kept in the future to show about how the last year's been. It's a sign to show you how to wear a mask correctly. Yeah, that's in Chattanooga, right? Because I remember seeing signs about you went to Chattanooga way back when. I guess this is a history of the Sign Museum movie, which I'm guessing usually they have more seats in here, but it's socially distanced due to, this year. More signs over here. There's an old Chevrolet sign and old Wagon Wheels beer. Wagon Wheel beer and liquor. Which just sounds interesting. An old Kroger sign. Habit's home cooking. That almost sounds like Hagrid from Harry Potter, but it's not. And I wouldn't trust this cooking anyways. How about that for a nifty looking clock? If that, I guess that's almost a second hand keeping time, although that is not accurate because it is not 4:30. It's like 12:30, 1 o'clock right now. The GE. And of course, it's named after me, the pizza king, which is not actually me at all. I mean, I can't make pizza besides putting stuff in a microwave for frozen pizza in the microwave. But it is what it is. Darn it, they're not going to discuss LEDs today. It's Mr. Wizard, or not Mr., and his records, tapes, and CDs back when those were things you actually had to buy for music instead of just listening to it on your iPod or streaming it. Or I guess iPods have done the same way as that, but instead of listening to it on your phone. Pops.
Cincinnati Pops.
Is that what that's for?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what, Katie? I think that sign's a good place to put that sign because it's Miller High Life and it's high in the sky, so it makes sense. I think we've actually seen basically everything now. So it's not a huge museum, but it's
But no, it's interesting.
yeah, it's very interesting. You see it all. That looks like a sign for Coca-Cola back when it was 5 cents. I took a bunch more than 5 cents now. This area almost looks like it's signs before. Well, some of these are movie signs, so like old John Wayne movies. And concerts with Frank Sinatra and whoever Roy Clark was. If you've never heard of Roy Clark.
I've heard of them.
That says Dolly. Is that Dollywood? Like the Dolly of Dollywood? I honestly don't know. Is that Susan Dolly Parton or is that something completely different?
I think that's something completely different.
Okay.
I don't think Dollywood was.
Well, I'm saying like, is that for Dolly Parton?
Yeah, it's Dolly Parton.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I know it's not for Dollywood per se, but.
I guess performing at a place.
So whenever we get to Dollywood, we can show off that. We can be like, hey, we saw a sign for her to play at the Golden Nugget on July 2nd through 4th. Don't know what year it was, but it looks like it was a while ago because I don't think she's quite that young anymore. If you're looking for the Poke Room, it's on the 2nd floor, just so you remember. But you have to be a silver club for it.
Okay.
I think that's just where the restrooms are at. Although there is a sign for Big Boy says this, remain safely in your car.
That's very common for today.
And a sign for gents in the bathroom. And speaking of that, all I can say is that Disneyland is not one of the things in that book is inaccurate. 100 things to do in America before you die. And you were saying the prices weren't bad for the shirts in the gift shop. That hoodie there is $30. The hoodie you have on now, I believe that was like, what, $50 at Disneyland?
It was like 40 or 50.
Pretty sure it was 50.
The t-shirts here are only 15. With
Speaking of Disneyland, sir, there's a sign for hot dogs. A hot dog, hot diggity dog. And we are now on the outside, so the entrance / exit of the American Sign Museum, and they have signs out here as well. Including the El Rancho Hotel, which was where, Katie? Where was it? The El Rancho Hotel.
It was right where Skytop's at.
Okay, so that's the one that used to be over there. I know now then. And then there's a sign for the American Sign Museum. An old Reds advertisement from 1876. And there's fashion frauds. But we're basically done here at the Sign Museum now, which was, it was a neat experience. It's not too expensive and it's something cool to do.
How much was it to get in here?
If you're just a regular old adult, it's $15. If you're a student or a senior or a kid, it's reduced for stuff like that. But I don't know what those prices were. And it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, if you like this particular video, give us a big thumbs up. And as always, subscribe because we got plenty of other videos. And we've gone to a lot of cool places. This is the first time we've gone to this place, but let us know what you think. And if you've ever been here, leave us a comment in the comment section of the video. And until next time, we'll see you when we see you.